And let's see, we got a couple of fight fans that want to talk about the margarito situation. And let's see, we got Karceno, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
How you been, man? Where you been at? Where you been hiding out? I heard the Manny fans just got you all locked up in the house. You don't even come out anymore. You don't even go grocery shopping anymore.
I know, and I'm planning a trip to the Philippines. That'll be fun.
Oh, well, let me know when you plan to do that so that I make sure I don't get on the same plane. So you want to talk margarito. What's going on? What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, so for what I'm hearing is that they getting kind of like early word that he might not get accepted in Texas, so they're really trying to work out the Marquez deal, De La Hoya and Top Rank. They're trying to work out this squeeze a Marquez 3 fight. And I want to know, did you hear anything about it as well?
Well, apparently Leonard Ellerby has denied that negotiations have happened at all, so I'm not really sure. That was a joke. Just kidding.
Oh,
How you doing? How you doing, Karceno?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
I think they're just going fishing, dude. On the internet and kind of gauging the fans' reactions. I think more than maybe as much as Top Rank, maybe a little more so. Golden Boy is very much on the edge of social media, using things like Twitter, Facebook, and Ustream, things like that to kind of engage the fans and to also gauge how they feel about certain fights. And I think that's a little bit of what this is them trying to figure out, trying to make a move. But here's the thing, is that in California, Pacquiao is only going to fight in, I believe, 3 states. It would be Texas, Nevada, and I think Florida in terms of the tax reasons. Mm-hmm. So coming to California was merely a formality. The ABC or, the Nevada State Commission said, go to California, try to get your license. We're not saying that you need to get your license. Just come on back when you've seen them. And I think that's what's probably going to happen. I expect Pacquiao Margarito to land at the MGM Grand, like I've said all along. Maybe Texas Stadium because of the Jerry Jones's money. Maybe there. Yeah. But I have a feeling it's going to be in Nevada.
There's something I do want to talk about, though, about that hearing that happened, yesterday. And it was like a five-hour, hearing and the rebuttal and both lawyers were presenting their, they're presenting their case and stuff. But there's one thing that kind of bothered me. And me and you, Gable, we were talking about this. And when Ernie calls in, we were talking about it. We'll talk about what me and him are talking about. But the one thing that bothered me about was that this is the thing that gets me the most. And in no way, no how am I defending Antonio Margarito, guys. I mean, everybody knows how I feel that, hey, he should get a much more bigger punishment, if not banned from the sport. Okay? But it's just funny, or you could say ironic to me, that the same people that screwed up are punishing a guy they didn't catch. They didn't even catch this guy. It was Naseem Richards that caught him. So these guys are ruling judgment on a guy when they should be ruling a judgment on themselves. They had Che up there, the other commissioner that was in the same room that was supposed to be supervised these hand wraps, and that guy got away clean. Nobody decided to ask him. One simple question was, why did you sign these off?
Yeah, well, apparently he hadn't quite signed off on them. I think the signing off happens when both hands are wrapped. But he's the inspector assigned to that guy from the moment he walks in the building to the moment the fight is over and they've done the post-fight urine test and all that stuff, and then he is released. The question I had was, why the hell did you let that guy wrap his hands when Naseem Richardson was not in the room? Mm-hmm. And how did you miss this? Why isn't there a certain protocol? I remember the first hearing, which I attended, they said it's always a little bit different with each camp. That there's not a specific protocol. You don't go through their bag. You don't feel all their stuff and make sure it's legal. It's just kind of a cursory look. Yeah, it looks good to me. And as we saw, you're able to hide something in a pre-made wrap and get it past this guy. And, I was talking to a judge for the Nevada State Athletic Commission that just happened to be at a fight that I was at for Angulo. And I was asking him, I said, so how do they put you through classes? Do they, how does this all work? And he said in the time that he'd been there, I think in the last, 10 years, he said, something like that, they'd maybe had 2 seminars on training for judges.
Right.
Now, if they only have 2 for those guys, how often do you think that the inspectors get tests?
Exactly.
And, to me, there's just something wrong, and it was what I asked Gary, is that you look at it, there's not a unified system. It's not regulated. Maybe they don't have quite the money that they used to. Steve Kim said that. Basically, back in the day, if the commission had heard that Margarito was sparring and it was against the rules, they would have shown up. It was not like it wasn't well documented that he was training in Oxnard. They would have shown up and shut it down. But nowadays, these guys don't show up. You never see inspectors at the gym. I'm at the gym all the time, many gyms. Never seen an inspector come through just to see, hey, what's going on? Like I said, last summer, 140-pound, not even an amateur boxer, me, a writer, was able to get in shape and get in the ring with a fighter that was 2 weeks out from his professional fight. And that fighter weighed about 172 pounds, is 6'4" to my 5'9", and we were able to spar 3 rounds, and nobody said anything.